Remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogel?
Here. We have a quorum. I'll note that during the course of our meeting, we have 2 times set aside for public comment. One in just a few moments, and then one right before we adjourn. You're welcome to speak both times. One of the 2 times, or if you're just here to listen, that's equally fine. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters, and if you could try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so, we'd appreciate that courtesy. Next on the agenda, we do set aside time for any of our elected row officers if they have any matters of business to be brought before us, but today they must not, because none of them are here. That takes us to public comment. If you would like to speak, if you could please identify yourself for the record, but we'll open it up and anybody cares to speak at this time. Mayor Alisco, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Mark Alisco, Mayor, City of Newcastle. And after my comments, I'm going to have to leave because we do have a meeting at City Hall. It's come to the city's attention that there was an opening on the redevelopment authority. And it's also come to our attention that we really don't have representation on that authority. And we really, really want to have representation. Therefore, I am submitting my name to be considered by you guys to be on the redevelopment authority. And I would very much consider, or I very much appreciate so would the city for us to have representation on that board. We believe it's very important and essential to the development of Newcastle as well as the county, and I'm very interested in serving on the board.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'll note, and you and I did have a phone conversation, but I do want to note that you're correct, there is an opening on the redevelopment authority. We're governed by an ordinance as it relates to how we appoint those members. The ordinance states that when there is an opening, we have to announce that opening at 2 public meetings. We did so last Tuesday, and before we adjourn today, I will make the second formal announcement of the opening. Individuals who wish to be considered can apply in one of 3 ways. They can send us a letter, they can send us an email, or as Mayor Alisco has done, they can come to the public meeting and express their interest in serving. The ordinance also stipulates that we have to conduct a criminal background check on any applicants for any of the authorities that we're responsible for making appointments to. The current redevelopment authority board, the 4 members who serve are residents, obviously, of the county. Mr. Gagliano, Jim Gagliano, lives in North Beaver Township. Frank Tellez is from Washington Township. Dennis Alduck resides in Neshannock Township, and John Natal is from Shenango Township. So you're correct, at the current time, there are no residents of the city of Newcastle serving on the redevelopment authority. I think what we'll be doing, Mayor, is after we make today's second and final announcement, we'll probably allow for about another week or so to have people apply if they so desire. So far, we have 1 other applicant, you're the second, that's expressed an interest in serving. So I think unless my colleagues feel differently, we'll probably give about another week or so to allow for that. Okay. So that's the process. Mayor, anything else you'd wish to add?
Only just for clarity, my appearance here is sufficient for the criteria. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
To be considered.
Yes, you are now an applicant.
Okay.
We will have to probably reach back out to you to get your Social Security number. You're way ahead of us, and we will treat that very carefully. I can assure you.
Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Mayor. Have a great day.
You too.
Are there any other public comments at this time? Okay, thank you all. We move along to fiscal and contractual, and we have warrant registers that have been provided to us by the Comptroller's Office. They are dated May 23, May 27, and May 28. Dan and Chris, please look them over, and whenever you're ready, I could accept a motion for us to accept these documents.
It's all, that's the workers.
That's what I thought, okay. Yeah, I'm good now.
I'll make a motion.
And I'll accept. Well, second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do either of you have any questions about the warrant register?
No, I think the administrator had asked my question. I just saw a lot of the same numbers on there, and it was related to voting.
Yes.
And we had to pay the poll workers, and we had to pay the facilities for where it's at. So
Exactly.
if my question was answered, then I'm fine.
Very good. Thank you very much. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Also, we have the minutes of last Tuesday's commissioners meeting. And again, gentlemen, take whatever time you need to look them over, and whenever you're ready, we can take action on them.
I've read them, and I'd like to make a motion. We accept the minutes.
And I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. If there are no questions or concerns, we'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Commissioner reports and comments. Today, Commissioner Sanada, you're up first.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I did a few things. Last Thursday, I had an opportunity to represent the county commissioners at a new business located up on East Washington Street. And it was actually a very neat facility. They have all antiques there. And I guess it began talking to the new owners who've been in the community for over a year. And they started off collecting all these antiques, and they thought the best facility to create a facility for it. And there's stuff that's older than us.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, that's at the facility and everything. And I was pleased to join with the chamber and their group and to welcome them to the city of Newcastle. So it's another empty building that's now occupied. And they seem to be enthused. And I think there's some positive, because there is a lot of antiques and people are interested in that. And I know talking with Jenny was there from the Tourist Promotion Agency, and they're going to continue to promote something like that from outside the area, because people for antiques will travel. And that's more visitors coming into Lawrence County. So I think we seemed enthused about that. And I got the opportunity Friday to represent the county down in Greene County. I went down in a coal mine about 800 feet below the surface. There was 15 commissioners from the Southwest. That was the max that they could take. And I got the call. I know Commissioner Kennedy went down to Beaver to represent us, and he took care of the board up here, Chairman. I mean, I think it was an interesting tour to see what they do in there. And I learned it. One subject I learned, a lot of that coal is imported to India and other countries. And they're still employing over 600 people. It's a very active mine down there. It's Console, which is not core. So I got an opportunity to spend many hours down there. So that was my main events for the week. So that's all I have.
Chris, thank you so much. Mr. Kennedy, you're next.
The only big thing I have is, Chris, like you said, I went down to Beaver to the opening ribbon cutting of the IBEW 712 new office building. And you get down there, you realize how many people from Lawrence County are heavily involved in that. Frank Tellis, who's retired from the IBEW now, but he was instrumental in getting that building in. We really can't complain to them to go on to Beaver County because they built the IBEW training center in Lawrence County. It was a good day. Had some fun and got to stop and see my grandson on the way back. That even made it a lot better.
Thank you, sir. A couple of things I'll note. Sunday afternoon, I had the privilege to go out to Slippery Rock Township. Most of you probably know these folks. Fred and Debbie Yeager own the Rose Point Campground right off of US Route 422. And on old Route 422, right down where the old bridge still sits, it's closed, the Yeagers have worked with the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy to construct a boat launch ramp for people to take their canoes and kayaks into the Slippery Rock Creek and head down towards McConnell's Mill. So they had a very nice ceremony there. I know the county, and I'm looking at Rebecca from planning, because we've undertaken the implementation of a number of boat ramps throughout the county on various rivers, the Beaver, the Shenango, and the Honing. But I don't know that we've done any on the Neshannock, or excuse me, on the Slippery Rock. So these folks have. So that's we were really pleased to see them do that.
Yeah.
They're nice people too.
I was glad because I had directed her to Western Pennsylvania Conservancy.
And you were thanked, by the way. She went through a list of thank yous, and you and Amy were both thanked. So worked out very well. That's all I have at this time. So we'll move along to new business. And the first item on the agenda falls under the assessment office, and Bruce Peterson is with us today, our chief assessor. And Bruce, it's always good to have you. If you'd like to come up, please.
All right.
Vanessa, what number do we give this one?
103.
103. Bruce has a proposed resolution, and what we're looking at today is something very comparable to what we've done recently in the tax claim office. We hired a new tax claim director, and the previous director, Artisha Foster, was willing and able to come back under a contract to assist during the transition. It worked out very, very well. Mr. Peterson is recommending to us today that we give consideration to a similar format whereby we would enter into a contract with Bruce's predecessor, Mr. J.R. Hardister, who lives out in Mahoning Township, whereby he would serve as an independent contractor to provide assistance to the assessment department. This would be at a rate of $40 per hour, with the annual amount not to exceed $12,000. And I know Bruce has had some conversations, I believe, with our solicitor on this. But Bruce, I'll turn it over to you if you'd like to give us any more information, please.
Yeah, we're just looking for JR to assist in the tax preparation for the school and county tax files coming up here in June for the school, and then in November for the county tax file. He can also help provide additional training for the CAMA system that we have, and different processes that he wasn't able to train before he left. There's a number of things that we need for that. Plus, he can be a consultant for some of the administration and some of the court cases that we're going through right now. I think we have 11 right now going through the common pleas at this point.
And those cases he would have a good deal of familiarity with. So do you.
A lot of them were when he was director of assessment.
Exactly. No, it's certainly, and before I turn it over to Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Sonata, from a budgetary standpoint, I assume you've looked at it. We have the wherewithal to make it work.
They're fun.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Kennedy, I'll turn it over to you for any questions.
Oh, Joe says you're fine, I'm fine.
Okay, thank you, sir. And Mr. Sonata.
I'll echo that sentiment. I think that I know that Char has the expertise, and Bruce, you're doing a great job there as well. And I think as we continue this transition and his knowledge, 20 plus years out there, to really help make it smooth, I have no issue with it. As long as Joe says it's in the financial restraints of the budget, I'm fine.
Thank you, Chris. Anything else, Bruce?
No.
Okay. Gentlemen, you've heard the presentation by Mr. Peterson. Would wish to make a motion for resolution 103?
I'll make the motion.
I'll say.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. Bruce, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir. Take care. Scott Baldwin is with us from our Mental Health and Developmental Services Office. He serves as director of that office. And he has an amendatory resolution. While you're sitting down, I do want to thank you. We had a resident contact us recently regarding the status of the chairlift at our local YMCA that helps people get in and out of the swimming pool, their indoor pool. And there had been some issues in terms of allowing it to become functional. And I reached out to you, and you reached out to the folks at the Y, and you were helpful. And got a call from the woman this morning who initiated this, and she couldn't have been happier. She has a relative who has some disabilities, and this chairlift makes things a lot easier for them. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Scott.
Always help, but help them when we can.
This morning, you have a proposed resolution number 104 that makes an adjustment to an existing contract that we have. This is for Patch's Place, which is here in Lawrence County. I'll turn it over to you to fill us in, please.
Yeah, and it's just sort of not uncommon as we get to the end of the fiscal year and we see unspent dollars, we'd like to give them out to our providers. Patch's Place is our drop-in center at the old West Side Elementary School in Newcastle. It serves as really a gathering place for our residents and our folks to go to. And they provide a lot of services, helping with budgeting. They provide food, transportation, and activities. And as expenses go up, if we have some extra dollars, we'd like to help them. So we're asking to adjust their budget $10,000. So it'll go from $287,100 to $597,100.
Can I clarify that first item, the dollar amount said was 287. Should that be 587?
587.
587, and it'll go up to 597, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we have written here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's 587,100 to 597.
That's what we got.
Okay.
Good.
Very good.
Good, thank you.
So yeah, and that's adjusting this contract with fiscal year 24-25.
Scott, thank you for bringing this to us, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Sanada for any questions that he might have.
No, I think Scott was thorough.
Thanks, Chris. Mr. Kennedy?
I'm good.
Okay, very good. May I have a motion for proposed resolution 104?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. Scott, good to see you. Hope you have a great day. Our planning office has a proposal for us to consider today, and Rebecca Schaefer is with us. Thanks for joining us, Rebecca. Amy McKinney gave me a little bit of a heads up on this. As you know, the planning office administers the county's community development block grant program, along with a number of other federally funded programs. And from what I understand, we're required to have what is known as a certifying officer to assure that all environmental, procedural, and record requirements are fully and properly satisfied. Amy advised me that I've apparently had this position for some time, and that we have to formalize it by way of this resolution that names the chair of the Board of Commissioners to serve as the certifying officer. Amy made it very clear to me that there's no pay involved. So this doesn't change my salary in any way, shape, or form. I'll turn it over to you, Rebecca, if you'd like to add some of the details.
Yeah, and like you said, every year we get our CDBG program, And every year we do environmental reviews for each project. So this is all the stuff our office does behind the scenes. And there's a few forms every year that you do sign. So I believe back in July, they passed that we had to have a resolution certifying with the certifying officer. So we're just following through what they, are recommending we do. So
Understood.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions. Thanks, Dan. Mr. Sonata?
No, pretty straightforward. I know you've done a good job so far doing it, so I'm sure you're gonna continue in that manner, and fully have all my support.
Here's how it works. They put the document in front of me, they say, sign here. They assure me that everything's in order. With that, this is proposed resolution 105. I have a motion.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you so much. Rebecca, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us. Mike Grippo is here from Children and Youth Services. And Mike's got about 4 items to bring to our attention. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hope you're well.
Long time.
It's good to have you back. Looks like it's time to do contracts again. And the first one, which is Resolution 106, involves Avanco International, Inc. out of Clifton, Virginia. You've given us this supporting document. So let's start with that one. Mike, what can you tell us about it?
Okay, it's basically our bloodline, how we operate the operation. This company performs 58 counties, usually called CAPS, Child Accounting and Profile System, but 58 counties currently use it. I think Allegheny's one that doesn't, but 58 counties. And it's a complicated system where they take the population, how many users of each county, and then they divide it, prorate it into the price that they're going to offer. If you could see, and the other part of it, CWIS is Child Welfare Information Solution, and also AFCARS is Adoption and Foster Care Analysis and Reporting System. But if you flip over that first page where it says Avanco, basically their rates, I think the first one went up about 3%, one went down, and the other one stayed the same. But it captures the history of referrals when we get them, everything, our bloodline to run CYS. That's that.
Thank you, sir. Refresh my sometimes poor memory. We renew these annually with this organization? Okay, it's an annual renewal. Okay, thank you. Mr. Sonata, do you have questions for Mr. Grippo?
He's pretty straightforward.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy?
The only thing I gotta tell you, your contract year is in 2005, it's 2025.
Oh, yeah.
2026. Your zero was flashing.
Yeah.
You were typing too fast. You notice it now?
I see it.
I changed it on mine.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm very sympathetic to what we just talked about, because I got a statement at home the other day for some hospital work that I had to have done. And there were 3 different issues on it, and the one had a date on it that didn't correspond with when I went for treatment,
Right.
for testing. So I get on the phone today and I call the provider, and I'm walking through it, and I said, that date was a Saturday. I wasn't at the hospital on that date. And she looked and she said, sir, that's from 2024. So I goofed up. If I'd have looked more carefully and realized it was a year ago.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad about this. I do the same
I'm
thing.
gonna go back and correct it.
You get flashing too, I do it all the time.
Dan, anything else on this first one?
No.
Okay, this is resolution 106. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. If there are no other questions, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 107 is a contract renewal with Mr. Stephen Braden, who does business under the name Check Your Bait Investigations, based out of Butler County. Could you give us some background on this, please, Mike?
Last year, I think, was the first year we contracted with them. His rate didn't go up. He charges a flat rate of $60 an hour. Sometimes when we do family findings and that, we can't locate the parents. He told me in 20 years, there's only one time he's never found a parent. He said he's gone as far as Africa, California, but he said one time. But other than that, we don't use them that often. But if it's a situation with the court and we have to, locate, we mail out stuff, it comes back, return to sender, we would call him. And Butler uses them quite a bit too. But he's the guy, the guru that would go out and find a parent that we're looking for.
This rate stayed the same, $60
Yeah.
per hour.
Yeah.
I'll see if Mr. Kennedy has any questions. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sanada.
No.
Gentlemen, would one of you wish to make a motion for proposed resolution 107?
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Our next resolution, 108, would allow us to move forward to enter into a contract with Mr. Kevin Lorello. This is for professional legal services for children and youth services. I believe this is a renewal. This is not a.
Yeah, it's a
new contract.
renewal.
What can you tell us about this one, please?
The rate's the same. Of course, he assists John Bonservaco and works with the caseworker on different cases and stuff like that.
And the rate is not to exceed $20,000 per year.
Yeah, it's like $16.66 a month, not to exceed.
Takes effect July 1 and runs through the end of June 2026.
I was doing a few contracts where it ended in the middle of the contract. So last time I did it 6 months, and I said, let me get you on a regular year. Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. So now it's June or July 1st.
Thank you for that, Mike. Mr. Sanada, questions on this proposal? No? Mr. Kennedy?
No.
Could I have a motion for proposed resolution 108?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Proposed resolution 109 would be a renewal for a contract that we have with Ms. Jane Sheehan, who does advanced professional nurse consultant services for CYS. And her rate per hour is $96. And again, it serves her as medical consultation. Mr. Grippo, can you fill us in more on this one?
Yeah, this is a renewal. A good percent of our referrals, we have to get medical records. And for people like us to try to dissect what they mean and that's what she does. She's there to read the medical records, to see some of the stuff that we might not pick out about the child, that she can help the caseworker in their casework perform their duty and understand it better.
That's helpful to know. We appreciate that. And I'll see if Mr. Kennedy has questions on this. No? Mr. Sanada?
No.
And there is she can't make more than X, whatever the amount was.
Oh, yeah, $29,952. Thank you for noting that. Gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion for resolution 109?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
If there are no other questions, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, good, appreciate that.
It's the time of year we see you all the time.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, bye.
Have a good day. We have a matter before us, resolution 110, and I believe, Counselor, are you going to be talking about this one? This is the one with entering into a contract with Jones Pasadelos.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that last name?
Yes.
Attorney Medora is our county solicitor, and this is proposed resolution 110. The county's been named as a defendant in a lawsuit, and involves a property, I believe, out in Union Township, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Would you care to give us some of the details, please?
Yes, there's two lawsuits, parallel running lawsuits. One was a federal court case and one was a Lawrence County Court of Common Pleas case. The federal court case was after a particular count was dropped in the federal case, the venue switched over to Lawrence County. The plaintiff has since dropped that case, leaving us with just one case. Jones Pasadelos was our insurance defense counsel on that case. I think it would be useful for us to still utilize their services because they're familiar with the case, working in conjunction with me for the final case. And they agreed to, as you can see in the letter, they've agreed to continue to charge at the P Corp rate, which is a significantly reduced rate.
Thank you for that. This is your recommendation to us, obviously. Mr. Sonata, do you have questions for the counselor? No. Mr. Kennedy?
No, none at all.
Thank you. May I have a motion for proposed resolution 110?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Counselor, are you going to remain where you are to discuss the union contract?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. This is proposed resolution 111. This allows for the county to execute a collective bargaining agreement with the Lawrence County Detectives Association, which is a union representing those individuals. This is a contract that was negotiated, and we thank both Attorney Medora and Mr. Vanasco for taking the lead on those matters. The union, I believe, has voted affirmatively to confirm the contract.
They did vote affirmatively. However, they voted affirmatively on a draft that included a particular service stipend that we believe would be pensionable, would go towards their pension. And I just found out from the controller's office, or probably, well, 5 minutes before the meeting began, that that would not be considered pensionable. So I'm asking the commissioners to table this CBA until I have the opportunity to discuss this with the Detectives Association and figure out how we move forward. Because it's it's dealing with wages. It's not an immaterial part of the contract. So I want to be able to talk with them and discuss how we figure out the next steps.
Certainly a reasonable request. Mr. Kennedy, do you have questions?
No, I agree.
Thank you, Mr. Sonata.
I agree with you as well. This resolved.
Thank you. May I have a motion to table proposed resolution 111?
I'll make the motion to table.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you so much, and we'll wait to hear back from you. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate all your work. We have a proposed budget amendment. This would be number 112. This involves our public safety office. They received unanticipated revenue in the amount of $6,687.57. It's a disbursement from the 911 revenue fund account, which I believe comes from the Commonwealth. And they're asking us to then earmark these additional dollars toward the line item known as the statewide project Lawrence Incumbent Local Exchange Carrier Post-Migration 911 Expense Fund account in the same amount, $6,687.57. Joe, anything that you need to add to this?
No.
Mr. Kennedy, any questions?
No.
Mr. Sanada? Would one of you wish to make a motion?
I'll make that one.
I'll second.
Thank you. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Proposed Resolution 113 is also a budget amendment pertaining to our county's general fund. The county received funding from the County Commissioners Association grant program that they have set up. It's a wellness grant. And we've received $4,552, which our HR office has asked that we put those dollars towards the line item of materials and supplies. And what they intend to do is to purchase Fitbits for our employees. Again, the concept being this is a wellness program, and through our State County Commissioners Association, these funds did become available. So we're not spending taxpayer dollars. We're utilizing the wellness grant fund that has been set up by our association. Joe, do you have anything else to add on this one?
No, just that, we're not the first county to look at going the Fitbit route for staff members. Also, it was a grant that they applied for.
Yeah.
That's right. Under the understanding that, this is what it would be used for, and it was approved by the folks down at, P Corp.
Very good, thank you. Chris, do you have questions?
Yeah, Joe, what's the response been from the
Oh,
employees?
it's been huge. I don't have the exact number, but I think when the initial email went out gauging interest, there was over 100 responses.
That's great. I think it's a great idea, a great program. I think in the long run, we'll cut down on our healthcare costs for the county because I've used the Fitbit for many years. It gives you that incentive to get your 10,000 steps a day.
Yes.
And I think by doing that, you get the employees really into the healthcare of it, the fitness. I think that's the whole goal of it. And I think that's why they came up with this grant program for these type of things. So I think we need to encourage people to walk and get those steps in. And I've done it probably at least the last 10 plus years. When I've used it, I think it's a good thing. And I think we can give incentives at the end to get people and get them moving. I think that's the key because you don't have to run just by walking. They say it's one of the healthiest things you can do. So I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Chris. Dan?
I'm not gonna add anything to them. Got it done on the path. Chris walks around this courthouse in the middle of the winter time like crazy. It's got me doing something now too, so that's good.
That is good.
That's a challenge, Commissioner Kennedy. Once you get that Fitbit, it'll get you around this courthouse.
I got it this time.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your comments. Joe, giving us the background on this. Would one of you wish to make a motion for this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second.
Thank you. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thanks, Vanessa. Proposed Resolution 114 is a budget transfer request from the county coroner asking for a $3,000 transfer from the commissioner's contingency line item into that of the coroner's land and lease rental line item. This is to assist with his rent. He rents from the city of Newcastle in their police department, am I correct?
Yes, but this is for, he met with us, several months ago, probably before the end of the year. We needed additional storage for bodies down on the south side.
That's right.
And this is allowing him to pay the rent for the new building.
My error, you're right, your memory's working better than mine, so thank you for that. Appreciate your noting that. And I'll see if Mr. Kennedy has questions.
No, just JR does a good job for us. We'll be proud to have him.
Thank you, Dan. Mr. Sanada,
No, I remember this well. I think it's a good idea.
I'm glad the two of you remembered. And you probably did too. This is Resolution 114. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. And then one final transfer is before us from Mental Health and Developmental Services Department. And they are asking for a transfer of $25,000 from their line item of ID services base into ID case management. And this is the time of year we see them, because they're approaching the end of their fiscal year, right?
Their fiscal year ends on June 30th. And basically, at this point, they're looking at all their line items to see where the spending was more or less. It's a guessing game, a little bit of a map at the beginning of the year to say, well, okay, we're going to use this much money in ID case management. You may come up a little bit short and need more in housing, things of that nature. So that's basically what they're doing at this point.
Something you did when you were over there.
A lot of years.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you for that explanation. Chris, any questions?
No.
Dan, any questions? Could I have a motion for this proposal?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Takes care of our voting matters. Let me make a few announcements, if I may. This board will meet a week from today, Tuesday, June 10 at 10 a.m. It's open to the public. Once this meeting concludes in a few moments, we'll take about a 5-minute break, and then we will convene the quarterly meeting of the Lawrence County Retirement Board. That board consists of the 3 commissioners as well as our county controller and our county treasurer. I'll note that, and it's not on the printed agenda, so let me also note that on Monday, June 9, the Board of Elections, which consists of the 3 of us, the Board of Elections will convene at 9 a.m. For a public meeting. The primary purpose of the meeting is to certify the primary election results. And it's also not printed on this document, but I'll note that on Thursday, June 19, that will be a holiday, it's a federal holiday, and we adhere to the federal holidays. That's Juneteenth. So accordingly, the courthouse will be closed on Thursday, June 19th. I will at this time open the floor, and by the way, Debbie, I have both you and Annabelle, I have the packet. I'll open the floor for public comments or questions.
I have a question.
Debbie?
Do you have is your courthouse open for Flag Day?
No, yes, we are, excuse
Oh, are
me.
you?
The answer is yes, because what we did a few years ago, when Juneteenth became a federal holiday.
Yeah.
Which incidentally, Flag Day was not. We switched, and we've factored that into all of our union contracts. So for many years, as you would recall, we were closed on Flag Day. So based on the fact that Juneteenth is a federal holiday and that Flag Day was not, we've switched that. So we will be open on Flag Day, but we will not be open on Juneteenth.
Couple others. How many people applied for redevelopment?
So far, we've had 2. One sent us a letter. You were not here at the time, but the mayor of Newcastle appeared here early this
I
morning
saw him in the parking lot.
and submitted to us verbally his interest in serving.
Who's the other one?
The other one is Ben Bush from the Forward Lawrence. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to make this, in fact, I neglected to do that. I'm glad you asked. You would have caught me. Yes. I am going to, in fact, I'll do it right now, if you don't mind my interrupting.
Go ahead.
let me announce, this is the second announcement of the fact that there is a vacancy on the Lawrence County Redevelopment Authority Board. The ordinance dictates that we have to announce the vacancy at 2 public meetings. We did that last week. This is the formal second announcement. Anyone interested in serving, as long as they're a Lawrence County resident, can submit either a letter of interest to us, an email expressing their interest, or they can attend a public meeting, as Mayor Lisco just did, and express their interest. We're required, as per the ordinance, to conduct a criminal background check of any applicants, all applicants. That's true with any authority that we're responsible for making appointments to. And we discussed that now that we've made the second announcement, that we're going to wait about a week. In fact, what we probably should do then, since the attending of a meeting is one of the options, so we should probably at least wait till next week's meeting in case anyone would show up and do it the way the mayor did it, unless you guys object. I agree. Okay, so that's the plan. So thanks, Debbie. I overlooked that. So I've now made the second formal announcement. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. One more question. Who filed the lawsuits against the county and what's the nature of them?
Solicitor Madore, do you mind? It's included in the resolution. The names of the organizations, the entities involved in the suit are in this document, but I'm going to refer to.
I can't remember the exact names.
Oh, I can read
But it
it.
had to do with innovative construction and the old Caravan Hotel on 422. They've been around for, you're aware, they've been around for over a year.
I've got it here. Lawrence County has been named as a defendant in Innovative Construction, Inc. versus the County of Lawrence. And I think I got that right, based on how this is written. Innovative Construction, Inc. The proceeding was initiated by Innovative Construction, Inc., Innovative Associates, Sandro LLC, the Sandro Trust, Caravan Recovery and Rehabilitation Center LLC, Caravan 2 LLC, and Andrews Sanctuary Christian Youth Center, Inc. That all sound familiar?
Now it does.
Okay. And again, this was for a parcel in Union Township.
I don't know what it is.
Again, it's all written on this
What's the
resolution.
status of it? Like,
Oh,
have there been hearings or?
we can talk after the meeting.
Okay, it's a public record, I'm sure, but that's fine.
Okay. Anything else, Debbie?
No.
Annabelle, anything?
Well, I'm sure this information is in the resolution, but I was gonna ask a few questions about the Fitbits. So what's the organization that's funding this?
We are members of the Pennsylvania County Commissioners Association based in Harrisburg, Dauphin County. They have 2 insurance entities. One is known as P Corp, PCORP, and they handle the county's liability insurance. We're also members of P Comp, PCOMP, which is the Workers' Compensation Trust Fund. In fact, I happen to sit on their board of directors. Those 2 entities have a full-time wellness nurse on their staff. And they implemented, the 2 boards a couple of years ago implemented what's known as a wellness grant that counties can apply for up to $5,000 for programs or supplies or anything that enhances the wellness of our employees. So we have was it the safety committee that initiated this?
It was the safety committee.
We have an internal safety committee that is overseen by our human resource department. And they explored some of the options as to how we could utilize these funds. And they recommended that we apply for the funding and purchase these Fitbits, which is the purpose of having this resolution here today.
Right.
Or, which is why we did the transfer, because when we formulated this year's budget, we were not anticipating receipt of those dollars. So we had to do a budget amendment to acknowledge receipt, and then we have to indicate where we're earmarking those dollars for. I would suggest, and I'm sure he can help you, Mike Ockabone in our Human Resources Office and Christine Vanasco, the two of them, I think, worked very closely on this. Would it be advisable for her to talk to them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you want to stop next door, they can give you a lot of the details.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Well, so they might be able to answer this more, but you said this isn't coming out of like Lawrence County tax dollars, but is it coming out of Pennsylvania state tax dollars?
No, those two organizations are insurance carriers.
Right.
And it would be coming from those funds, from the funds that they use to administer both the workers' compensation fund as well as the liability insurance fund.
So those are just like private insurance companies then?
No, they are entities that fall under the umbrella of the State County Commissioners Association. Now, we of course, we're members, so consequently, like with any insurance coverage, we pay premiums to that entity.
Okay, so that's where.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies, anything
Good,
else?
thank you.
Other public comments at this time?
Here for the pension meeting.
Oh, very good. Well, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes or so thank you. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners, Mr. Sonata. No. Sir? Mr. Kennedy? Okay, thank you. Well, we appreciate everybody being here today, and there being no other business to be brought before the board, may I please have an adjournment motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, oppose the same sign. Motion carried. The meeting is adjourned. You'll turn this off and then be back to turn us back on, I take it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric, very much. We're adjourned, and probably in about 5 minutes. There we go. I guess we're live. Okay, thank you. And Vanessa, we're okay on that end? All righty. Everybody ready to start? I will call to order regular meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, March the 4th of 2025. We welcome everybody who's with us. I'll note that Commissioner Sonata is attending a conference of the National Association of County Officials in Washington, D.C., but he's able to participate by phone this morning. Speaking of phones, if you have a cell phone with you, could you please put it on silent or vibrate? We'd appreciate you doing that. And we'll note that this meeting is being live streamed and also recorded. We always begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we would ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. And Commissioner Kennedy, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you please remain standing, we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sinata,
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Vogler.
Here. We do have a quorum. We always have time during our meeting for public comment, both in just a few moments from now and then also prior to adjournment. If you do have a comment, we ask that it be related to county government matters. If it's a state matter, we suggest you talk to your state officials, likewise federal, and likewise if it's a local municipal issue. But if it's a county-related issue, you're certainly welcome to make your comments. Again, in a moment or two, and then before we adjourn, you're welcome to speak both times. If you just want to speak once, that's fine. Or if you're just here to listen, that's also fine. And if you could try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so, we'd appreciate that courtesy. We always set aside time in the agenda for any of our row officers who might have an issue to bring to us today, but they're not obligated or required to be here, and today we have no row officers with us. So that does take us to item 3 on the agenda, which would be public comment. If you do have a comment, if you could state your name for the record, and then we're here to listen. Any comments at this time? Hearing none. Okay, thank you all. Next on the agenda, and these documents that we'll be talking about, they'll be available for anybody who wishes to see them. I generally keep my packet and give it to Debbie Walker from the Newcastle News, but we do have other copies available. We have 3 warrant registers from the Controller's Office that have been submitted to us, dated February 24, February 26, and also February 27. And it's a listing of the bills that have been paid. I'll give Dan and Chris time to look them over, and gentlemen, whenever you're ready, I could accept a motion for us to accept these documents.
I'll make a motion to accept the documents.
And I'll second Dan's motion.
Okay, thank you both, Dan and Chris. Do either of you have any concerns about the warrant registers? No. Okay, thank you then. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That noise you're hearing in the background, someone pushed a door open that they shouldn't have. It's an alarm that was supposed to go off when the door is open, so somebody wasn't supposed to be there. That's what that noise is. The motion does carry for acceptance of the warrant registers. Also in our packet are the minutes of the meeting that we held last week, which was on February 25. Again, Chris and Dan will give you a moment or two to look them over, and whenever you're ready, I could entertain a motion for us to adopt the minutes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes of February 25th.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, gentlemen, both of you. Do either of you have any concerns about the minutes? Hearing none, then thank you. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Next on the agenda would be commissioner reports and comments, and today, Commissioner Sonata, you get to go first.
Well, I'm going to save my comments for next week, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, that's very fine. So thank you. Let's see. Looks like I'm next. I do want to note a couple of things that on tomorrow, as a matter of fact, the Lawrence County Conservation District Board of Directors, I sit on that board, I represent the commissioners on that board. They will be holding their monthly public meeting at Ryder's Restaurant in Wilmington Township at 12 noon tomorrow. That's open to the public if anybody wishes to attend that meeting. I'll also note that, and I think it's on the agenda later, but the Lawrence County Planning Commission will not be holding a public meeting this month. They had no business to be brought before the board, so there will not be a Planning Commission meeting. And then finally, the Board of Commissioners will not be meeting in public 2 weeks from today, the 18th of March. That coincides with our spring conference of the State County Commissioners Association, which will be held in Dauphin County. My fellow commissioners will be attending, both Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Sonata. I generally would go, but I've been summoned for jury duty that week, so I have to stay here and do my civic duty. But I appreciate that both Dan and Chris are going to represent us at that conference. So there will not be a commissioners meeting on the 18th of March. That's all I have, and I'll turn it over to my colleague, Mr. Kennedy.
The only thing really I have is this weekend I had the first of 5 Eagle Scouts for Wilmington's Boy Scout troop, Evan Richardson, got his award. We have another one this week. And there's 5 of them out there this year that got the awards. We went there, and the only other thing I did is Voland Fire Department had their annual pancake day on Saturday, and it was very well attended.
Is their sausage as good as it usually is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even I ate a piece. I shouldn't have, but that's okay. It was a good weekend.
The upcoming Eagle Scout ceremony this coming Sunday, it's a young lady, from what I understand. So Chris, are you able to go, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think all, good. It looks like all 3 of us will be able to participate. So Dan, thank you very much. Under new business, we have a couple proposed resolutions. Vanessa, this first one, what number do we get it?
48.
Number 48, and it's from our recycling office, and Megan Gehring is with us. Megan, do you mind coming up to the microphone? Welcome. It's always nice to have you here. And you're going to talk to us this morning about glass recycling, and the resolution spells it out in good detail, but could you advise us as to what you're asking of the board?
Sure. This resolution is to enter into an agreement with the Pennsylvania Resources Council for their traveling glass bin program. Same as we've offered in years past. They bring in a glass recycling container for a collection event. Last year we had 2 events. This year we're only proposing 1 event. Because we have received funding to be able to offer this program on our own throughout Lawrence and Mercer County. So we won't have to contract with PRC in the future to be able to offer glass recycling in our counties. Cost is the same. They are giving us an additional week. So it'll be a 2-week collection period. It will take place the week after Memorial Day. The exact dates are May 31st through June 12th. And that'll be here in Newcastle.
And specifically, will it be at the site where our blue bins are up near the jail?
That's correct. That's
Okay.
the location that's
Where the glass, okay, good. Nice thing about that, it's centrally located. It's about almost equal distance from the southern end to the northern end of the county, or east and west.
Right.
Now, the resolution we're looking at today is specific to Lawrence County. Do the Mercer commissioners do a similar undertaking?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, we can't contract for them or vice versa, so.
Yes, we've gone to the commissioner meeting and they have signed the agreement as well.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions.
Nothing at all. Just, you and Jerry do a lot of running back and forth, I'm sure. Keeps you busy.
Yeah.
Dan, thank you. Commissioner Sanada, any questions for Megan?
No, Megan was quite thorough.
Thank you, Chris. I assume in terms of getting the word out about this, you'll probably have something on the recycling website or the Facebook page, that sort of thing.
Yes, we'll have the details posted on the Lawrence County, Mercer County web pages. The calendar's been distributed to all of our municipalities.
Good.
We'll also post it on the Facebook page. We may have already. So yes, we'll send it out to the media as well. We're trying to get the word out.
Great, I appreciate that very much. So this resolution would allow the county to enter into an agreement, as Megan said, with the Pennsylvania Resources Council to allow for glass recycling. A number of years ago at the blue bins, you were able to recycle glass, but market conditions dictated that it just was not cost effective to do that any longer. It's my understanding.
Correct.
And the blue bins that we have around the county now accept cardboard and paper. But this does give folks an opportunity who perhaps have accumulated some glass that they'd like to have recycled. This will give them that opportunity. So
Yes.
our thanks to you and Jerry and John.
Yes,
Can't forget
thank you.
John. This is resolution 48. Would one of my colleagues care to make a motion for its approval?
I'll make that motion.
Then I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Do either of you have any more questions for Megan? Okay, thank you. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yeah.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Megan, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your hard work. Have a great day. Our next proposed resolution would be number 49. This is a follow-up to the discussion we had at last week's meeting. Mr. Strobel, Chad Strobel, is with us again today. He, of course, is our public safety director, and we appreciate Chad joining us. Last week, we talked about looking into undertaking a study in conjunction with the county of Mercer to look at the pros and cons of perhaps merging what would be known as our public safety answering points, which is the 911 system. What we're doing today would be authorizing Mr. Strobel to move forward with applying to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency for funding to complete the study. One of the things that we asked Chad to do, and anytime we ask Chad to do something, it always gets done quickly, and this was no exception. We did ask Chad to advise us as to what other counties in the Commonwealth have gone together jointly to have a more than one county answering point for 911 calls. And the information that Chad provided us is as follows. There are a number of counties that have done this. Columbia County and Montour County, excuse me, in the central part of the state, have a consolidation that is known as the East Central Emergency Network. The counties of Snyder and Union, which are also in central Pennsylvania, have gone together. They have consolidated, and they have what is known as the Central Susquehanna Regional 911. Tioga and Potter counties have an interesting arrangement. Tioga County has a contract with Potter County to provide 911 services, and in exchange for that, Potter County provides GIS support to Tioga County. Lycoming, and by the way, those two counties are up on the northern border with New York State. Lycoming County in central Pennsylvania is contracted with Sullivan County. They border one another in central Pennsylvania, and Lycoming County, which is a larger county compared to Sullivan, provides 911 services for Sullivan County. Elk County has an agreement with Cameron County. They have an agreement whereby Elk County provides 911 services for Cameron County. And Forest County, which is one of the smaller counties in terms of the state's population, they have an interesting arrangement where some of the calls for 911 for Forest County are taken by Warren County, and some of the calls for Forest County for 911 are taken by Clarion County. So Chad, thank you for giving us this information. It's very helpful. We had a lengthy discussion last week, but do you have anything more to add today in terms of us moving forward to allow you, and I assume it would be in conjunction with Mr. Giannetti in Mercer County, assuming his commissioners have given him the green light, to proceed with reaching out to PEMA? Anything you need to add?
No, I just want to stress, and it's something that we all stressed last week, this is just a study. We haven't made any decisions yet. We're not, tearing down buildings and moving in next week or anything. This is a study. It's going to look at everything: our technology, our staffing, our geography, call volumes, financials. It's going to dive into everything and give us a good idea of if this is feasible or not. That's the feasibility study. But we're not moving forward with anything right now other than a study to see if it's possible, and if it is possible, if it's really of any benefit to anybody. So, I mean, you can do anything, but if it's not going to be a benefit to Mercer or Lawrence County, then it's kind of pointless to do. So this is just we're going to apply for the funding, special funding from Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency. If we get that, look for quotes and try to find a consultant to complete the study, bring that back, and really reach out to the public and first responders to try to put any reservations at ease. If it's not as bad as it sounds. And technologically speaking, it's almost in place already. We're just two separate counties and two separate, buildings and groups of people. But as far as the technology goes, we're already right there on the, cusp of being one place. So that's all.
Thank you. And as we noted last week, you enjoy a strong working relationship with your counterpart in Mercer, Mr. Genetti. My fellow commissioners and I enjoy a good, solid working relationship with the three commissioners up in Mercer. So that's a helpful part of this. One thing I'd be curious to know, and I doubt you're able to answer this right now, I wouldn't expect you to. You were kind enough to find out where these consolidations have occurred, but maybe if you could check, and it's not urgent, but if you're talking to some of your folks at Pima, I'd be interested in knowing if there have been counties that have looked into it and have chosen not to consolidate. So if that's something you could pose to them at some point.
We actually have a 911 advisory board meeting Thursday. Rich and I will be attending virtually, but we'll pose that and see if anybody has anything to share.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions or comments.
No, I think Chad answered everything that I was going to ask. The main thing we got to stress is it's just a study right now. We haven't made any decisions on doing anything besides a study.
Thank you for noting that, Dan. Commissioner Sanada.
Now that and study that decisions made, and I know that Chairman, you had mentioned last week, Chad, we want to get input from our emergency responders out there, our fire chiefs, and our local elected officials as well. And I think that's important, and we'll see where it goes.
Thank you very much, Chris. Anything else, Chad, before we take a vote?
No, I'm looking forward to comments. I know WKBN last night aired a short clip interview with Commissioner Finley. I know Newcastle News has done Sharon Herald, and I got an email last evening from KDKA that wants to do an interview. I'm going to try to arrange that where Director Genetti and I can both be on. So we're kind of going together. But he said.
Right. That's a good idea.
I'll try to arrange that where Director Genetti and I can both handle that interview virtually and take care of that. So, but yeah, it's out there. So
very good. Yeah, we appreciate our local newspaper did write an article about it. We appreciate that they did that. We want to keep the public informed as we move forward with this. So appreciate all your efforts. If Chris and Dan, if you gentlemen have no other questions for Chad, would one of you care to make a motion for proposed resolution 49?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you both, gentlemen. And if there happens to not be any other discussion, we'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Chad, always good to have you here.
appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Yes, sir. Wish you well.
Thank you.
Take care. We have a couple of administrative budget transfers that have been brought before us today. The first falls under the commissioner's budget. There's a request for a transfer of $10,000 from the commissioner's contingency line item into that of materials and supplies. The district attorneys, you mind if I do all three of them? We can vote them as a group?
Sure.
Thank you. The district attorney's office is requesting a $2,900 transfer from their contingency line item into minor equipment. They need to purchase a computer and monitors to replace outdated ones. And then our Children and Youth Services office is asking for a $3,000 transfer from their contracted provider care line item into that of their medical expenses line item. Joe, anything over and above what's been listed here?
No, sir.
Okay. Chris, any questions about these three requests?
No.
Okay, thank you. And Dan, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion to approve the requested transfers?
Sure, I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
I thank you both. We'll ask Vanessa to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yeah.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Vanessa.
Mhm.
Well, we drop all the way down to announcements. And as we normally do, we meet again next Tuesday, 10 o'clock, March 11, in this office, open to the public. And as we noted earlier, the County Planning Commission will not be meeting this month. And then 2 weeks from today, there will not be a public county commissioners meeting. We'll open the floor for public comment at this time. Does anybody in the audience have anything they'd like to say? Yes, Mrs. Burchak.
I just have a question about the consolidation. Is it a consolidation of the two 911 centers?
It's a study to determine the cost effectiveness in terms of, do you operate under one roof, or do you continue to operate separately but share in other expenses? To my understanding, it's a very wide open study to look at all options. And as Mr. Strobel stressed, no decisions are made until we actually have the study.
Right. I missed this story in the newspaper, so I'm just wondering what's the purpose of it. I'm sure there's a good one, but.
Well, there's redundancies right now. You have a building here in Hickory Township, Lawrence County, where you have Lawrence County employees taking 911 calls. You drive up to Mercer County and you have the same situation. You have employees there that answer calls coming in from Mercer County. This study would look at ways to streamline that. The study might conclude that the current system is the best system, but they might also come up with some recommendations where, again, there might be some expenses that are incurred at both locations that perhaps could be brought together and result in cost savings. Now, that's my understanding. I'm going to see if Dan or Chris would want to add to that.
You're 100% right.
I agree with the chairman. That's exactly the way we understand it.
Okay, thank you. So again, first we got to see if the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency will fund the study. That's what we did today. We gave Mr. Strobel the authorization to proceed with applying to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency because they have a line item in their budget where they are able to assist counties to undertake this study. And then my recollection is, and Chris or Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, if the funding comes through, then we would advertise for proposals for companies that would come in and conduct the study. And we'd have to do it in such a way that we would be in accord with the Mercer County commissioners as far as who would be best suited to undertake the study. And one scenario that conceivably could happen, they may come back with recommendations, and the three of us may like some of those recommendations, but possibly our friends in Mercer County might not, or vice versa. So that remains to be seen. So we'll take this all a step at a time.
Is Mercer County, are they involved in the study? I mean, are they seeking funds also?
Yes, this would be done jointly, and their Board of Commissioners have given authorization to Mr. Strobel's counterpart up there to work, to the two of them to work together on this.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Any other public comments at this time? Okay, hearing none. Thank you all. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. Mr. Sanada.
No.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And we wish you safe travels back. Looks like the weather's going to, I think, be okay on, I think you're coming back tomorrow?
Correct.
Okay, well, I hope you have a safe trip back.
I look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Kennedy, do you have any closing comments?
Good.
Okay, thank you. Joe, Vanessa, anything that we've maybe forgotten? Or, all right, well, thank you both. Once again, if Debbie Walker is watching us, Debbie, we'll have your packet for you upstairs if you want to stop by and pick it up. We appreciate everybody being here today. There being no other business to be brought before this board, may I please have an adjournment motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, oppose the same sign. Motion carries. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody. David, thank you. There we go. Thanks, Eric, very much. You good, Vanessa?
Yes, we're good.
Thank you. Well, good morning to everybody, and we welcome all of you today. We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, March 11 of 2025. We'll note that this meeting is being live streamed, and then I understand it will be available on YouTube, I guess. And I've been asked to note that Nctv channel 45 also carries it, is my understanding, and we're also recording the meeting. Finally, if you have a cell phone on you, would you please put it on vibrate or silent? We'd appreciate your doing that. We always begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. I'd like to note we lost a real fine person, also a fine public servant within the last week, Dave Hairhogger, who served on New Beaver Borough Council for 49 years. And I attended his funeral service yesterday. I actually first met Dave when I was 6 years old. His daughter and I started first grade together. And so I knew Dave growing up. And, he took a lot of pride in his service as a New Beaver Borough Council member, and just did a fine job and was a real fine human being. He was a truck driver by profession, and we'll certainly miss Dave. 91 years old, and he was still serving on Borough Council. So we'll miss Dave, but please keep his family in your thoughts. So we'll start. Joe, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everybody. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogel?
Here, we have a quorum. As we always do, we'll have two opportunities for public comment, one in just a few moments and then one before we adjourn. You're welcome to speak both times. If you only want to speak once, that's fine. Or if you're just here to listen, that's also fine. We do ask that you try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so. And also, if you could direct your comments to county government matters, we would appreciate that as well. Item 2 on the agenda, we always set aside time for our elected row officers if they have any reports or concerns. And we do have our county controller, Dave Prestipine, with us. He's here for a bid opening in a few moments, but Dave, anything over and above that?
Nope, that's all.
All right, sir, thank you. It's good to have you here. That takes us to public comments. Let me open the floor and see if anybody has a comment they'd like to make at this time. Hearing and seeing none, we'll do this again before we adjourn. That takes us to fiscal and contractual, and we do have a bid opening today. Back on February 11, the board passed Resolution 26, which authorized the advertising of bids, or 4 bids, for the maintenance of the recreational areas that the county is responsible for, which would include mowing, trimming, and trash collection. We're requesting bids from contractors, and my understanding is that the bid advertisements appeared on February 17, February 21, and the resolution noted that we would open those bids today. And our county controller handles that, and for most of you are aware, we have a relatively new system that's done online, for lack of a better term. And it seems to be working well. We thank Dave for bringing this to us about a year or two ago, I think. It's been,
I think this is the second year.
and it seems to work fine. So Dave, I'll turn it over to you. Do you know how many bids we received?
We got two.
Okay, would you please proceed?
The two bids were from Beyond Corp., which is in Edenburg, Pennsylvania, and Pyatt's Landscaping, which is in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Move something along the walls. Beyond Corp., their total bid is $70,960.
Is that 70?
$70,960.
Thank you, Dave.
$72,980.
And that was Pyatt, is that right, Dave? Okay. We have with us Rebecca Schaefer from the planning department. Rebecca, what we normally do, of course, is we would table the bids to allow your office to review them in consultation, I'm sure, with the controller's office. And I don't know if you talked to the engineers or not, but I assume you'd like a week or so to have that opportunity. Before I would take a motion to table, though, let me see if Mr. Kennedy has any questions or comments. Okay, thank you. Mr. Sonata?
Just brief, Rebecca, we used either of these two companies in the past.
We have a long-standing relationship with Pyatt's, but Beyond has, bid in prior years, past 2 or 3 years. Been a little higher, so we have gone with Pyatt's in a while. But I will make note that maybe we will talk to Jason Medor, if, depending on, I wanted to review it too, to make sure we're good on what we decide, what everyone decides.
As I said, we've dealt with both companies.
Yes, and they're all bonded, they all have their insurance, or they would not be able to bid, so they followed all of our guidelines.
Sure that
Yes,
And you're familiar with both comments?
I am.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Thank you, Chris. I used to have to ask you if they were all received in a timely manner, but this system guarantees that, doesn't
Correct.
it?
It does not like, it does not like them submit one, and once it crosses that time period.
So I don't have to ask you that many times. Okay. Dave, do you have anything else to add on this?
I do not.
Okay, well, thank you both. Could I please have a motion to table these bids?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Dave, as always, thank you very much. Do you have anything else for us?
I do not.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Rebecca, thank you for being here. Next on our agenda, we have the warrant register. This one is dated March 6th of 2025. It's a listing of the bills that have been paid by the county controller's office. And I'll give my two colleagues time to look them over. And whenever you're ready, gentlemen, I could entertain a motion for us to accept the warrant register.
I move we accept the warrant register.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Also in our packet, we have the minutes of the March 4 Commissioners meeting. And once again, Chris and Dan, take time you need to look them over. And whenever you're ready, we could take a motion to adopt the minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll accept, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. If there are no other questions or concerns, could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Commissioner reports and comments. Mr. Sonata, you get to go first today.
Thank you, Chairman Vogler. It was actually a very good week for me last week, the weekend, into the early week. I had the opportunity to go to NACO, the National Association of County Commissioners. I represent Lawrence County and the state of Pennsylvania, along with 35 other commissioners from the state. We actually had an opportunity to go up to Capitol Hill last Tuesday. And we had a chance to visit with Senator McCormick and Senator Fetterman with many of the issues that affect county government, Lawrence County, as well as all counties throughout the country. And just briefly, I think some of the issues that are important for us from the county are Medicaid, the potential cuts to Medicaid, which could have an effect on the counties, depending on how, if these cuts happen, will the counties be responsible? And we don't have the financial wherewithal to do that. Another issue that was brought up at the conference, which we talked to the senators about, was the municipal bonding. That affects all school districts, counties, local governments. If they would take the tax exempt status away, that's a huge incentive actually for creating jobs with small business opportunities and to float bonds that would add at least 2.5% to 3% of the cost from local governments. So that was another important issue we discussed. And probably the third most important issue is FEMA. From the federal government, I know there's talk in Washington about Washington not taking care of disasters and leaving that to the state and local governments. The counties were immediately opposed to that because I don't know where you're at, no counties have the financial wherewithal to handle a disaster. And even within Lawrence County, we haven't had one for a long time. But, bridges go out or, shopping centers get taken out. The county doesn't have the ability to do that. And, so we rely a lot on the federal government in case a disaster does occur. So those are three, I think, of the very important issues that we discussed. So I wasn't in the district, so I didn't have an opportunity to attend too many things, except we did an Eagle Scout on it. So all three of us. Actually, it was interesting. There was all four of us. I'll let Commissioner Kennedy can follow up on that as well, since she's from his neck of the woods and nice girl. And I've never seen so many Eagle Scouts in one room. They came from all the counties. And just last, I'd like to just throw something out there, Debbie, for you. that we were brought aware of there's a grant program out there for the FACET program throughout Lawrence County. It's being done by the Redevelopment Authority. It's a $25,000 grant, which the business would have to match. Amy McKinney, our down here works on that with the Redevelopment Authority. The deadline is March 31st. And I throw that out there to all businesses throughout the county, in Elwood City, and New Wilmington, Newcastle, and Shannon. It doesn't matter. It's to fix the facets of their facility. They have to match it with $25,000. I don't know if there's a whole lot of applicants at this point, but I said that I would try to get that message out to let any business know that. And if they're interested, contact Amy, and because she's the person with the Redevelopment Authority. She works for us as well. So I think it's important to we're just trying to get that message out. I know that they had sent that message to all levels of government, but sometimes some of the small businesses are so occupied in doing what they do with their business that they don't always hear about these things. So I did want to throw that out there. They have a few weeks to apply. If they have questions, to contact me. That's really all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanada. Appreciate it. Looks like I'm next. I concur. We had a very enjoyable Sunday afternoon in New Wilmington with the Eagle Scout recipient, Megan Blasco. And it was nice to see County Commissioner Tim McGonigal there. Megan lives in Mercer County, just above the county line in Wilmington Township, Mercer County. So I think that's why they had both three of us as well as Commissioner McGonigal. Again, I'll defer to Dan if he'd like to make more comments about it. The only other thing I'll note is that next Tuesday, this board will not be having a public meeting. Next week is the spring conference of the County Commissioners Association, and that takes place in Dauphin County. My two colleagues plan to attend. I had hoped to attend, however, I've been called to serve on jury duty next week, so I have to stay home and do my civic duty. But I'm glad that both Dan and Chris are able to go. Gives a wonderful opportunity to interact with fellow commissioners from around the state and to hear a lot of good speakers, particularly from state government, during the course of those 2 days. One final note, on the first Tuesday in April, which would be April 1, we've been invited along with Controller Prestipine and Treasurer Rapone to a noon meeting in Pittsburgh by the Marquette Company, which is our fiscal advisor for our pension fund. And again, that meeting starts at noon. So we thought, well, if we have our regular 10 o'clock meeting, that's going to be cutting it really close. So we had informal discussion, but I want to get it on the record. Are you gentlemen both agreeable to us meeting at 9 a.m. that morning? Would that work and would it work for you, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Chris and Dan, would that be okay?
Okay.
So what we'll do is we could do a legal ad noting the change of time. Still have a meeting, still be on Tuesday, April 1, but we'll start at 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. So I appreciate you're both being willing and able to do that. That's all I have, and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Kennedy.
Well, you guys all left it to me, but Megan Belisco, who got the Eagle Scout. She's one of 5 in Wilmington troop to get it this year. So we've done 2 so far. We got 3 more to do. I don't know if they're all going to have a presentation like that or not. One young man told me he's not doing it. He's too much committed to what he's doing, and we'll probably get on proclamation and get it off. So, I know Wilmington's doing that, and Dr. Patton out in Mohawk, I think he has 4 this year. So you did 4 already. Was it 4 they did out there, Chris?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
They've had quite a few, so.
Yeah, so it's fancy.
So they've been busy.
What's in the water out in Wilmington, Dan? I've never seen 5.
I've never, I have worked with a few kids doing projects at Morning Park, but never this many in a row. And the one young lady that did the Fayette Cemetery, I think it cleaned up badly. And Lainey Todd that did that. And, it's funny, she came and met with me shortly after I went from the hospital last year. So she's watched me get better. She's a nice young lady. She's really done a good job. So did Megan. She did with the kids in the conservation district. So it was a nice project. Besides that, that's it, except for yesterday I spent a few minutes in here and then I ran off with Ben and we went down to Pittsburgh. Actually went to Moon Township and Finley Township and toured quite a few of the industrial developments down there and met with some developers that have built that place up. And it was a very interesting trip and learned how they've done it. Saw the 1 million square foot Amazon center down there that's huge. You can land a 747 on the sucker. Just a nice afternoon, meet some nice people, and hopefully we can get them to come this direction. So that was the goal of the day. That's all I have.
Dan, thank you. We've noted in the past that Forward Lawrence, the Economic Development Corporation, their structure is such that their board, one of the board seats is to be filled by a county commissioner. And when Mr. Kennedy took office, he replaced former Commissioner Spillvogel on that board seat. And I will tell you that Dan not only puts a lot of time and effort into his role as a commissioner, but he puts a lot of time and effort into that role as well. And by the way, he's not paid for that. It's a community volunteer position. So we thank you for all, and you have really put a lot of time and effort into it. We thank you for that. Thank you. Well, gentlemen, thank you all. Speaking of the Economic Development Corporation, I'm a little puzzled because I thought Diane Richardson was supposed to be here.
She's probably, hopefully, she's home resting. She is not, yesterday she was not feeling.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And Ben told her to stay home again.
Okay. Well,
So I don't see why we can't move on with this. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory what they're doing.
Well, this, what number would this be? 50? This involves the Millennium Park project in the Shannock Township, specifically the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program grant. It states here that this agreement with a public taxing body is a required element of all RACP projects from the Pennsylvania Budget Office. I'll be honest, I did have a couple questions I was hoping to pose. But do you happen to know, is this time sensitive? Is there a deadline?
Well, they started bulldozing yesterday
That's good.
Millennium Park. And,
That's good.
that building is already gonna be full when they get done with it. They wanna get moving on the next phase, I know that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because the bulldozers are there, they wanna keep going or what.
So you're not sure if we waited until next, well, no, you know what, we don't have a meeting next Tuesday. I'd rather not wait 2 weeks. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Fine, Dan, is this the Still Life project?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that because I know that it's important.
Yeah, I wish they would have sent someone in Diane's place, and again, I'm sorry she's not feeling well. But I guess because we don't meet for another 2 weeks, I certainly wouldn't want to stand in the way of any progress. So Dan, are you comfortable with moving ahead on this today? All right, I'll respect that. Chris, do you feel the same way?
Dan's on board, and I know you're quite aware of the project. I think they've briefly mentioned doing this before, so it's something I think all three of us are aware of what's going on. And Dan, if you're comfortable with this, I have no issue.
Hopefully I'll see Mr. Bush within the next week and I can
You're gonna see him on Thursday.
I'll pose my questions to him at that time, so, okay. Well, this resolution, as we noted, it's an agreement between the Economic Development Corporation and the county regarding, as both Chris and Dan mentioned, the Steel Light Expansion Phase 2 project in the Shannon Township. The project was awarded a $3.5 million grant from the Commonwealth through the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program. And one of the requirements, as we noted, is that a public taxing body is a required element, so there does have to be an agreement between the two. One of my questions was, maybe Vanessa or maybe Dan can answer it. Do we know if Attorney Medor has reviewed any or all of this?
He was on the email that I had sent to you guys to review the agreement.
Okay.
As far as I know, he's okay with it.
Okay, you didn't hear anything to the contrary. You didn't hear any concerns
No.
the solicitor posed. Okay. This is Resolution 50. Could we please have a motion for it?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Are there any other concerns or comments? Okay, thank you. We'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. The next resolution is proposed Resolution 51 from our Children and Youth Services Office. And Mr. Grippo, Mike Grippo is with us. And Mike, it's always nice to have you here. And number 51 is a contract, I believe, with an organization known as A Collective Consulting, and they're based out in Bucks County. This is a renewal, but what more can you tell us, please?
Okay, actually what happened was we had an emergency placement. You know, we didn't use them last year. These were one of the backup ones. So we had an emergency placement from another provider who phoned. So when we called around, we always start Lawrence County, Mercer, we always start that circle. But unfortunately, this was the only place that would take the child. So it got approved by the judge and we had to place them there. So, and the rate from last year didn't go up. So it's the same rate.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know.
I'll see if Commissioner Sanada has any questions. No. Mr. Kennedy, any questions for Mike? Okay, gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion for proposed Resolution 51?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mike, anything else on this one?
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Mike, are you handling the next one involving Katie Kerr?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got backup again.
Okay, that's good. Mr. Bowden is with us as well. For those of you who have followed our meetings in the past, Children and Youth Services participates in a program known as Child Welfare Education and Leadership, CWEL. And the resolution states that it's at Pennsylvania Western University. Now, is that the new name? I always thought it was at Pitt.
Well, the program changed, so they have options for different colleges. And I think this is Edinburgh.
That's right. This would be Edinburgh, Clarion, and California. I believe those three are now known as
the
Pennsylvania Western University.
So,
okay, I didn't realize that. I always thought it was strictly at Pitt.
And usually everybody goes to that.
Okay.
But back then, the program has changed. Back then, they would go to school and then work in the summer for 2 years. Every summer come back, and then when they're out, they come back. This is the first time that we're doing it different. They're actually going to be working and taking night classes.
I see.
And so I think it's a 3-year program instead of a 2-year program. But they will continue to work like they normally would. This is the first year. She's the first one that's doing it.
And Mike, actually, if I read a little further down, it does state in the resolution that she will participate in the program on a part-time online basis while continuing to work full-time. So that backs up what you just said. And it states here that she will maintain county employment post-graduation for a period of time established by her CWEL contract. this seems to have worked well with some of your other employees, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, just again, it's no longer strictly at Pitt, and she's able to do this through one of the, and you said that, you think it's Edinburgh?
Yeah, I think I heard Katie say Edinburgh. Yeah, and the nice thing about it, as they're developing and learning, she's actually gonna be supervising.
Right.
So she can use some of the principles and techniques that she learned.
Yeah.
You know, and apply it to the caseworkers that work for her.
Understood.
Under her. But she's been with us since September 20, and she got promoted to a supervisor in around October, November 22.
Okay. She's been with us about 4.5 years. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm gonna see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions.
Nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Sonata. No. Okay. Well, we appreciate your bringing this to us, and I hope it continues to be a successful venture. This is, and do you have anything else to add, Mike?
No.
Okay. John, anything? Over and above?
It's a very good program, and the worker / student has the right to, has the preference and right to select one of, I believe, up to 7 different universities.
I see.
And the part that is new this year is Edinburgh, or Pennsylvania Western University now. They are exclusively online. They offer no in-person, but the other 6 universities now have added asynchronous learning too. So Ms. Kerr will be able to work full-time, but then because it's asynchronous, she'll have the ability to select which day and time during the week after work she invests into the master's program. So it's really a wonderful program.
Well, appreciate that helpful information, and just for the record, that was John Bout speaking. He's the director of our CYS office, works with Mike. Once again, Chris and Dan, any other questions that you gentlemen might have? Okay, could I have a motion, please, for Resolution 52?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Gentlemen, we appreciate your time. Thank you both. Have a great day. Thank you. Resolution 53, you may recall earlier in the year, we allocated some dollars from the fund, the Affordable Housing Fund that is collected in the Register and Recorder's office. And we've done this for quite a number of years. The Carpenters Project, which is a non-denominational intergenerational program in the Elwood City area that assists homeowners with repairs that they are unable to complete themselves with no charge to those homeowners. They are once again asking for a $15,000 allocation from our fund, and we have the letter attached. It was sent to us on March 3, and the gentleman who chairs it is Connie McDonald, who many of you know. Connie, for many years, was the fire chief in Elwood City Borough. He also served a number of terms on the Elwood City Borough Council. So, gentlemen, we have before us this request. My understanding is that there are sufficient funds in this account to cover the $15,000 request. I'm going to see if Mr. Sonata has any comments.
No, it's a very good program.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy?
None.
Okay, thank you. Would one of you care to make a motion for Resolution 53?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. If there are no other concerns, we can take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Vanessa. Resolution 54 is a budget amendment. This involves our 911 office. It's an increase, an unbudgeted increase in their allocation from the 911 grant disbursement revenue account in the amount of $1,387.93. And that will be earmarked towards the line item known as 911 State Project Lawrence Incumbent Local Exchange Carrier Post-Migration Expense Account. That's a mouthful. So this budget amendment is before us. It's Resolution 54. Dan, do you have any questions about it? Chris?
No.
Okay, would one of you wish to make a motion for it?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Before we take a roll call, you're comfortable with everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a little bit more.
Okay, which we're always happy to have.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Vanessa, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thanks, Vanessa. We have one requested transfer today from the Human Resources Office. They are asking for a $3,000 budget transfer from their contingency line item into that of their advertising line item. Would one of you care to make a motion to approve this?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. And I should have asked before the motion. Do either of you have any concerns?
No.
Okay, thank you both. It's been moved and seconded. Could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Well, a couple of announcements. As we noted, the Board of Commissioners will not meet next Tuesday. We will reconvene 2 weeks from today on Tuesday, March 25 at 10 a.m. in this room. It's open to the public. The Lawrence County Planning Commission meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow, March 12, has been canceled. The prison board will meet on Wednesday, March 19. That would be 1 week from tomorrow at 12 noon in this room, open to the public. It's not listed on the agenda, but the salary board will convene a special meeting this Thursday, March 13. Do I have that right, 13?
Yes.
Thank you. At 9 a.m. The legal ad appeared, I believe, yesterday.
Yes.
And we have a few items of business that we have to address as the salary board. That's open to the public. Those are the announcements that I have at this time. I'm going to see our public consists of Debbie from the Newcastle News, and I have your packet, Debbie, but do you have any questions or concerns?
I do. Can someone explain this CLA expansion phase 2 project? Is that what they broke ground for? Is that something different?
No, that was phase 1, what they broke ground for.
So this
phase
is something different.
This is a second building.
Could you explain what it is?
It's a warehouse. They need more space, so they gotta build another
Do you
building.
know any dimensions or anything? Or?
You were there that day, I think. Did you cover it? It was real cold.
That's what I'm asking.
They
That
have the
was a
tent?
groundbreaking.
That was
you said-
for phase 1.
So this is for phase 2.
Yeah, they're building another building on that same site for phase 2. So there'll be 2 buildings.
And it's another warehouse building. Okay. You know anything more about it, like how much it's gonna cost or?
No, Ben or Diane would have that.
Alright, how much is left in the affordable housing fund after this allocation?
I'd have to check that. 80-some thousand.
86,000.
Yeah.
But we've only taken, what did we give to the other?
We gave that,
15.
the ramp people
15.
15 and
So-
15 years, so that's really.
About 50, I would,
There's about 50,000 left.
yeah.
approximately. And Debbie, as you know, these two organizations, traditionally, we've given to them in the past.
So when you don't give them the money, what happens to the funds that are in there? Just stay there?
They continue to build.
And that's also the money we gave to Dawn Services for the homeowners, but that's on hold right now. The homeowners,
Mortgage assistance.
yeah, that's what it's
Oh,
called.
okay. And the redevelopment grant that you were talking about, Chris, or, I'm sorry,
Oh, the facade grant.
the facade program?
Yeah.
No, I was aware there was one for the city and one for Elwood City, but
This is different.
is this a new one? Or,
They did it 2 years ago, I believe. I wasn't commissioner the last time they did it. It's the $25,000 grant, but you have to match the $25,000 grant. It's run through the redevelopment authority. So it is different. This would be besides whatever New Wilmington or Elwood City or anywhere else. And this would, to my understanding, anywhere in the county can get this grant, as long as they have.
Is this a new program? I mean, for the whole county?
Yes, they did it 2 years ago.
Because we didn't hear anything about it till now, but
That's the reason I brought it up.
okay. it's
Well,
like
it would,
two
it
weeks
would
away.
have to have been discussed at a redevelopment authority meeting, since they administer it.
They administer, it's not specifically us here, but I wanted to bring it up because,
So would Amy have more information?
yes, absolutely.
Or Rebecca, I'm
Yeah.
not, is Amy here? She is here.
Yeah, I
Amy
would
or
talk
Rebecca.
to them because we just want to get that word out because.
Thank you.
Sure.
I've got your packet when we're done.
Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie. Closing comments from my colleagues, Mr. Sonata.
Madam Chairman, thank you for an efficient meeting.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kennedy, any closing comments?
I'm good.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that. Vanessa or Joe, anything maybe we've forgotten or overlooked?
No, sir.
All right, we thank you both. Appreciate everybody being here today, and again, we will reconvene in 2 weeks as a Board of Commissioners. Thank you all. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
You'll turn us off.